morning to you. Welcome to Kickoff Sports Show. My name is Oladakwa Kunubi, aka Young Striker 9. Well, happy new month. 8:03 is the time. FIFA Women's World Cup games still ongoing in New Zealand, Australia. Super Falcons of Nigeria moving to the next round of the FIFA Women's World Cup, getting a lot of backings, a lot of support, a lot of congratulatory messages. Now the question is, can they move past that round of 16? That is a big question. Well, we also look at what is also going down, looking at the world of tennis, talking about the FIBA Afro Basket Championship, talking about women's basketball. We also look at updates from transfer update this morning, what the back pages of papers are saying. Well, for Sadio Mane, he's done with his medicals, moving to Saudi Pro League. More players to also make their move in this transfer window. Well, we'll also get more updates from another corner this morning. Well, remember, yesterday we got you the update of Victor Osimhen also being eyed by a Saudi Pro League side, but we're getting update that Napoli is saying no to make this, to allow this move happen. Hey, remember, guys, we're live on Facebook, facebook.com/solutions939fm, facebook.com/solutions939fm. Watch us live on YouTube, Solutions939fm. You can also as well listen to us from anywhere across the globe. Download our app on Google Play Store, type Solutions939fm, download the app and listen on the go on Radio Garden. We're live, Solutions939fm. Let's go straight to the stories. FIFA Women's World Cup update this morning, 5 minutes between Portugal and the United States of America. Looking at that group, it looks like the United States of America may be moving to the next round as well, same as Netherlands, because these two teams, both have 4 points going into this game. Remember, looking at how their game went, for Netherlands, they won against Portugal, while USA defeated Vietnam. And, looking at what is currently happening right now with the game, it is 5 points for these two teams with the way things stand, because they are playing goalless. For Portugal, Portugal is also goalless against the Vietnam. Let's keep our fingers crossed for that. Well, that is these two games are going simultaneously because these are the last games of the group stages. Well, remember, we'll also have another clash also scheduled for 12 o'clock today. China ladies against the Three Lionesses of England, while Haiti will take on Denmark. Well, for this group, whatever happens in this group will also determine the opponents of Super Falcons of Nigeria. Remember, well, a lot of people already tipping Super Falcons to face England, because Nigeria finished second in the group, and they will be facing a team that finishes atop in this group that has England, that has China, Vietnam, Denmark. Well, England is currently topping that group with 6 points, Denmark with 3 points, China tied with 3 points, Haiti, Haiti with 0 points. Okay, so now let's quickly go straight and look at what is happening in the world of tennis, where Venus Williams will play in the upcoming Western and Southern Open after receiving a wild card. It is the second hardcourt event Williams will be playing this summer ahead of the US Open, where she also is expected to receive a wild card. The 7-time major champion and a former world number one also will first play at next week's Canadian Open in Montreal as a wild card. Williams, 43, returned to the competition last month after being sidelined since January with a hamstring injury sustained in Auckland. She played in 3 grass court tournaments, culminating at Wimbledon, and had a 1-3 record. Moving away from that, now let's talk about another update here from the world of tennis this morning. Jacqueline Christian upset top seed Mari Boskova 6-4, 4-6, 6-4 to eliminate the defending champion in the first round of the Prague Open on Monday. The unseeded Romania beat the Czech player for the first time in their 4 encounters. Another unseeded player, Victoria Ronkova of Slovakia, rallied to beat 7th seeded Zhu Wang of China 3-6, 6-3, 7-6 at a hard court tournament. Now let's look at updates this morning. Well, live update coming this morning from the FIFA Women's World Cup. Netherlands just got to go against Vietnam 7 minutes of action in that one. Well, according to the time from FIFA, there's 8 minutes of action looking at the goal coming for Netherlands. And well, should this result stand at the end of the day, well, Netherlands they've now usurped the USA, because Netherlands has now moved to the top of the Group E of the FIFA Women's World Cup with 7 points, with the current score line 1-0 in favor of Netherlands against Vietnam. Okay, now let's look at updates. Talking about the fixtures of games in tennis this morning. Straight this morning, going straight to the Prague WTA 250 Open. Barbara Palinkova will take on Emiliana Arango by 10 o'clock today, as Lucrezia Stefani will take on Kaika Niepi, and Patricia Maria Tig will take on Anna Karolina. There will be a continuation of the game between Aliza Cornet and Lucy Havelkova, while Shugzan will take on Zhang. More games are scheduled for today at the Prague Open WTA 250, and looking at the WTA 500 Washington Open. Elina Svitolina, Daria Kasatkina all won their games, moving to the next round. Victoria Azarenka is out, including Elisa Mertens. Before all the games scheduled for today, Peyton Stearns will take on Magnela Frieng, as Sophia Kenny's game against Magnela Frieng has been cancelled. Sorana Christian will take on Petra Martic, as Jennifer Brady battles Lena Kaolina, and Halle Baptiste will take on Karolina Pliskova. Last game of the day of this particular tournament, Washington Open, will see Bernanda Pera take on Leila Fernandez. Looking at the ATP tournament scheduled for today in the Washington Open, ATP 500, Gail Monfils is through to the next round, beating John Fratagliello. Monfils defeated Fratagliello 6-3, 6-4. But for other games scheduled for today, Ben Shelton will take on Jochen Chang. Taro Daniel will be up against Nasiko Kinakis. Brandon Nakashima will battle Alexander Vukic. Giga Dimitrov will be in action 6:30 today against Mackenzie McDonald. Lloyd Harris will take on Kei Nishikori. Max Purcell battle Zakari Vajda, and Emilio Rusuvori will be up against Shito Nishioka by 8 o'clock. Second goal scored by Netherlands this morning at the FIFA Women's World Cup against Vietnam, and the second goal scored by Snods. And that goal also, that is Kata Snods, who plays for Everton, scored the second goal for Netherlands. Second goal coming in the 11th minutes, but remember, it was Mertens who scored early in the game. Lake Mertens of PSG scoring for Netherlands the first goal of this game against Vietnam. 12 minutes of action, 2 goals scored between Netherlands and Vietnam, and Netherlands with the 2 goals. Well, the game between Portugal, USA, still goalless. 12 minutes of action. FIFA Women's World Cup live update on Solutions 939 FM on Kiko Sports Show. Moving away from that, and let's go straight to Afro Basket Women's Championship. Let's talk women's basketball this morning at the Afro Basket 2023 ongoing in Rwanda. Remember, yesterday was rest day, and today Angola will take on Guinea by 11 o'clock. Egypt will take on Senegal by 2 o'clock today. And Mozambique will take on Ivory Coast. Wow, Uganda will take on Congo DR. Moving away from basketball this morning, let us go straight and talk football. And we start with Nigerian girls.
sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Welcome back. Kickoff Sports Show still live on Solutions 939 FM, your Remedy Radio dial. And my name is Oladapo Kunubi. Well, we've been looking at the live update from the FIFA Women's World Cup ongoing in New Zealand, Australia this morning. Well, remember with the updates we got yesterday, we are having more teams qualify to the round of 16. And let's just quickly take you through teams already through to the next round. Switzerland is through, and they've been pitched alongside Spain that got bashed yesterday by Japan. Japan will take on Norway. Well, for Australia, they're waiting for the runner-up in Group D, while Nigeria Super Falcons will take on the table toppers in Group D at the FIFA Women's World Cup for the round of 16 fixtures. However, games are going down. We've been updating you since the kickoff of the show. Netherlands is currently leading Vietnam 2-0, 2 goals coming in the first 11 minutes of this encounter this morning. Well, it was Katja Snorges getting the second goal for Netherlands, but remember, it was Leke Mertens of PSG who scored the first goal for the Oranje Girls. Well, going straight to the second game, it is the USA taking on Portugal, and the game is goalless, 16 minutes of action. No yellow card in this game that is ongoing at the Eden Park in Auckland. We're going to break it. When we return, we'll look at more football stories on the show.
Mommy!
Yes, daughter?
Why is it that almost everyone in my school comes with Sumal candies and biscuits? I just want to know.
Yes, darling. It's because Sumal food is amazing and simply the best.
Yes, Mommy. Even the Sumal wafers and the chewing gum that you've always given to us are extremely delicious and captivating.
Hello, everyone. Here's your bread. Of course, it's yellow bread.
Wow!
Thanks, my dear. We always enjoy Jolly bread. For your biscuits, wafers, candies, chewing gum, and bread.
Sumal Foods, love at first bite.
Sumal Foods, love at first bite.
John,
what's up?
check your phone. I just send you Momo referral.
My mama don't run that one for me since now. Me say for the find who I go refer, make a quick hammer my million.
Hey! You too fit be one of the 12 millionaires for the Momo Refer and Win promo. To win, dial star 671 hash to sharply open your Momo account and select option 6 to refer family and friends them. After that, make sure say them open Momo account and use them recharge airtime or data at least 100 naira. Chicken, the more people where you refer, the more you go win. If you not see out of 12 million naira every week, you fit to chop out of 25 million naira.
Momo Refer and Win promo. The more you refer, the more you win. Promo go run from June 15 till August 9, 2023. Terms and conditions they shall.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Check the time right now, 8:17 from Solutions 939 FM. Kickoff Sports Show still live. And the third goal scored by Netherlands. Right now, it is Netherlands 3, Vietnam 0, FIFA Women's World Cup. The third group game in that group at the FIFA Women's World Cup. And the goal was scored by Esme Brot of the PSV. Well, it's like it is more of harvest of goals. Okay, so it's looking like Netherlands may be topping the group at the end of the day. Looking at the Group E, 3-0 in favor of Netherlands. The game is still in the first 45 minutes and 90 minutes played. 3 goals scored by Netherlands against Vietnam, while USA is still locking hands with Portugal, goalless in that one. But let's go straight and talk about Nigerian girls this morning, where Super Falcons head coach Rondo Waldrum Azib applauded on his side after they earned a place in the round of 16 at the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup following a goalless against Republic of Ireland. Waldrum's side finished second in Group B behind co-host Australia, who thrashed Canada 4-0. The Super Falcons remain unbeaten in the competition with 1 win and 2 drawn games out of 3. The American was proud of the performance of his team so far in their competition. Well, if you're proud of the girls, let us see more from the girls in the round of 16. We don't care who we face in the round of 16. Beat Denmark, beat England. Stand. Well, the likes of Tijani Babangida, Risola Babajide, Austin Iguaivan have also congratulated the girls after qualifying to the round of 16, setting record unbeaten in the FIFA Women's World Cup tournament and getting to the round of 16. Well, Nadoze, Super Eagles, Super Falcons. Why do I keep mentioning Super Eagles? Super Falcons goalkeeper also having 2 clean sheets. All right. Well, wishing the girls all the best in the round of 16. However, let's go straight and we'll move away from the FIFA Women's World Cup. Let's talk club football stories.
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Okay, so let's start with Liverpool. This morning, remember, the story broke yesterday about Virgil van Dijk, who is the new captain of the Reds, with Trent Alexander-Arnold, the assistant captain. Remember, Henderson, who happens to be the captain of the team, has left the club alongside James Milner. Henderson spent 8 years as keeper following Steven Gerrard's departure in 2015, but vacated the armband when he moved to Saudi Pro League side Al Ettifaq, who are coached by Steven Gerrard. Milner's move to Brighton and Hove Albion following the expiration of his Liverpool contract also meant the role of vice-captain at Anfield was vacant, with academy graduate Alexander-Arnold being chosen as his replacement. So what will he be bringing to the table? Remember, I was speaking with Kolandra Alfred on extra time last night, where he said, well, that was a good decision from the coach of the side, Jürgen Klopp. Now going straight to Aston Villa this morning, where Unai Emery is preparing his Aston Villa squad to compete fiercely on 4 fronts next season. The Spanish coach was speaking after seeing his side round off an encouraging Premier League Summer Series campaign with an exhilarating 3-all draw with Brentford. Brahim Mbeumo and George Da Silva put the Bees 2 up but a 10 minutes bleeds saw Villa turn the game on its head before halftime via an Ezri Konza won the goal and strikes from Musa Diaby and Matthew Cash. Well, for Unai Emery, let's see what happens to his team when the Premier League starts. However, talking about decisions this morning, well, shout out to Adeboja Yusuf, Adedimeji Anoluako watching live on Facebook. Remember, you can as well watch us live on Facebook this morning. Jump on our Facebook fan page, Solutions 939 FM. YouTube, watch us live, Solutions 939 FM. Tweet at us at Solutions 939 FM. On IG, remember to follow Solutions 939 FM. Well, fourth goal scored by Netherlands. It is a big goal party this morning at the FIFA Women's World Cup. The clash between Netherlands and Vietnam. Well, 4 goals scored. And let's spell Vietnam. Vietnam. Okay. Viet has been scored. Nam and waiting. Netherlands 4, Vietnam 0. FIFA Women's World Cup clash ongoing at the Forsyth Bar Stadium in Jordan. Now moving on this morning, a crackdown on time wasting and dissent, as well as a much stricter policing of the bench and the technical areas are at the heart of new refereeing guidelines that will be enforced for the start of the football season. From the first championship game on Friday, which sees Sheffield Wednesday taking Southampton, added minutes at the end of EFL and Premier League matches are now expected to frequently run into double digits as they did at the last World Cup in Qatar. Remember what happened in the game between Nigeria and Australia at the ongoing FIFA Women's World Cup? Okay, now officials have become increasingly concerned with statistics that show how little the ball has been in play in professional matches in England, with averages last season of just 48 minutes in League 2, 50 minutes in League 1, 52 minutes in Championship, and just under 55 minutes in the Premier League. More time will be added on to for goal celebrations, which officials feel have become lengthier and more elaborate. So nobody should now come and say, yes, when Manchester City is now playing Chelsea, they now say, yes, the referee extended the time. No, when you waste your time celebrating, there will be added time at the end of the day. Well, Netherlands is going for the 5th goal against Vietnam, but hey, that is a goal kick. 24 minutes or 25 minutes of action between Vietnam and Netherlands. It is 4-0. Now let's go straight and talk transfer stories this morning. Favor Laurentola has been transferred to the other side. Okay. Well, Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag has said it is up to Harry Maguire to decide whether he wants to stay at Old Trafford next season. Maguire lost his place in the starting team last season and this summer was stripped of the captaincy, which has been given to midfielder Bruno Fernandes. Well, West Ham had a £20 million, that is approximately $25.7 million offer for the England international rejected last week. And according to reports, while there is also interest from Tottenham, but Ten Hag said it is up to Maguire to decide whether he wants to fight for his place. Well, Yorubas will say, Tobasi Fakpari Ishu Halejo. Omi Pele to told on here. Favor will tell you on Saturday the English translation of that dude. All right, now looking at another update, Chelsea in talks with Juventus over a move that could see Dusan Vlahovic and Romelu Lukaku swap clubs. According to Fabrizio Romano, Juve are keen to sign Lukaku, who is not in Chelsea's plan after returning from his season-long loan at Inter Milan. And moving to Saudi Pro League this morning, Brazil midfielder Fabinho has joined Al Ittihad from Liverpool on a 3-year deal. Financial details were not disclosed, but British media reported that Saudi Pro League champions paid £40 million, approximately $51.33 million for the 29-year-old. Still in the Saudi Pro League, Al Hilal made an offer worth €140 million to Napoli for striker Victor Osimhen, with wages on offer in the region of £1 million per week. The Saudi Pro League club have already had a bid of €300 million for Paris Saint-Germain's Kylian Mbappe, accepted this summer, although the player declined to meet them, and also tried to sign Lionel Messi before he moved to Inter Miami. Now let's talk about Harry Kane this morning, and it is looking like Bayern doesn't have the money to bring this England forward. Bayern Munich remained significantly short of Tottenham's valuation of Harry Kane after representatives from both clubs met in London on Monday. Members of Spurs and Bayern's hierarchy discussed Kane over lunch in the capital, with talks continuing into the afternoon. The gap in valuation, believed to be at least £20 million, remains, but negotiations continue between the two clubs. Well, we say good move for a man who had his medicals yesterday, talking about Sadio Mane. And well, remember I sent a message yesterday saying that, well, emotional message to Bayern Munich players. They never wanted to leave because of what happened. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have to put on hold the show, and we're back tomorrow on the Kickoff Sports Show segment of EM Updates. Now we'll move straight to the other side of the show, where we'll look at headlines on the pages of Nigerian newspapers. My name is Oladakwa Kunubi. Do not move a muscle.
No be met with Akura o. Plenty money la fe babagba fun wa o. Me. Look, if na lion teach the money day, not to carry dentist follow body. My eyes on Zobo, believe me. Ghana must go dope, no be color money. I hear many talking about me, saying this VEC now wow. La Viaji, they hot La Viaji. Take it easy, but bro, malo wow. Many things I want to do, find won't be me. If enemy like, make it on scarf. Konile body me. Gigi Moji, oh, Babagba Adura, oh. Kaye mi dada, oh, Babagba Adura, oh. Rolls Royce, no be met with Akura, oh. Plenty money la fe babagba fun wa o. Me. Me. Something you don't know, Jollof Fuji don't know. Nibi tegbe mi ba shere, kemi le rowo no. Baba da kunda boye o, jẹ́ kí n kí owó kàbọ̀. Baba ṣe mí lóore, baba mi ti ṣe mí lóore. Kid I hit out dollar, we hustle every day for the dollar. Shop boy, don't be a dollar. Make hunger no go round your neck like collar. For those people talking about me, saying this VEC now wow. La Viaji they hustle, La Viaji but Jesus Christ ni baba. Jesus Christ ni baba. Gigi Moji, oh, Babagba Adura, oh. Kaye mi dada, oh, Babagba Adura, oh. Rolls Royce, no be met with Akura, oh. Plenty money la fe babagba fun wa, oh. Me.
Solutions 93.9 FM.
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
into the month of August. Yes, I'm super excited about this month because it comes with a lot of great tidings. I'm talking about August visitation, August meeting, and what have you. But of course, we are also having an August address or an August Eve address by the presidency. Welcome to From the Dailies, where we take you on a tour and different stories making the rounds in our nation, Nigeria. My name is Victory Richard. Good morning to you, Dakmo, and Happy New Month.
Happy New Month, Victory. You're welcome to another edition of AMR Update from the Dailies this morning. By the way, you look fresh. The last time I saw you was last month. And I'm still
Right. I mean, that's fair. That's fair enough.
I mean, I told Damola Lafenwa on Monday that there are a lot of expectations from the live broadcast to be made by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And I just hope that people will not be disappointed, because a lot of expectations will surely include if there will be a reversal on the fuel pump price from 617 to the normal 500 naira. But Mr. President never mentioned something like that. Talking about tuition, increase in school fees, and the likes. But Mr. President said he wasn't ready to speak jargons, but to also just go straight and make sense.
Get back to work.
Yes, and we'll get you the sound from Mr. President this morning. But there was also a meeting yesterday. The organized labor and members of the federal government. We have Bajabi Amila Ribadu also at that meeting last night. But what George Jairo made clear was that the proposed August 2 protest will go ahead. But let's jump straight and look at the headlines on pages of Nigerian newspapers this morning. I've got Who Made the Nation and the Punch newspapers.
I'll be taking stories from the Vanguard and the Nigerian Tribune. Be reminded that we're streaming live on Facebook as well as YouTube at Solutions 939. So do well to jump in on the platform and lend in your thoughts regarding the state of the nation, as well as sending in messages via WhatsApp or regular text to 0904 422 2939. The phone lines will be open as well for you to call in and react to some of the stories we will be addressing this morning. The numbers would be 0909 888 9939 or 0912 222 2939. Right now, let's get right into the papers. We're now down to taking stories. I'll be taking stories from the Vanguard newspaper this morning. We have a couple of headlines this morning, so let's begin with this one. Cash squeeze. Low returns drags down investment in federal government saving bond. Find that story on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper. Tension as ex-emir Sanusi. I'll take that again. Tension as ex-Emir Sanusi's portrait reappears in Kanu government house. 110 suspects arrested as Fintiri relaxes curfew, visit looted warehouses. Find that on page 6. Subsidy removal. Tinubu orders federal institutions to stop arbitrary fee hike. Is this even possible? But let's hope they adhere to the order, because these institutions, they also use petrol and whatnot to power generating sets, and so I don't know how they're not being affected by it. So the only way they can also get money back is by increasing. Now, this is not me proposing that they should get increase
continue
in fee hikes, but I'm just saying in general terms, if you want to logically look at things, you would say it's within their right. More stories from the Vanguard this morning. Supreme Court MBA Obaseki Mba mourns as Justice Uweze dies at 64. And now to the biggest story in the Vanguard newspaper. Tinubu attacks hardship with 500 billion naira palliative. Tells Nigerians, I came to help, not to hunt. Saves 1 trillion naira from subsidy removal in 2 months. These are some of the riders to the story. Labour insists on nationwide mass protests from tomorrow. Find that story on page 25. Boko Haram terrorists kill 11 farmers, injure 1, aid failed ransom deal in Borno. Find that story on page 6 of the Vanguard newspaper. Senate holds screening of 3 ministerial nominees over alleged forgery, age falsification. Did you see the video trending of one of the nominees being queried about his
age?
Not his age. I saw that of age, but there was one being queried about his certificates. Apparently, he sat for exams and he got just 2 credits. So he was being asked, how did he manage to gain admission into tertiary institutions
with 2 credits?
With 2 credits, and he said he left out the results that he used in
From
acquiring admission from his submission. So they were asking
from his credentials.
Yeah. So why are you leaving that out? If you know this is essential, why are you leaving? You're putting failure as opposed to the one you used in succeeding.
Maybe it is about the recognition of the school he went to, where he failed, instead of the recognition to be given to the school where he passed his exams. No, I'm just saying, because I'm just looking at a situation where even the people screening, do they have the requirement? That's a big question.
That's
because
the table we don't want to temper.
don't let's shake tables this morning, but we saw a series of drama yesterday, the bow and go, the unnecessary drilling. I saw one who was overdrilled, and I was like, wow, come on. This man has explained, and
Well, maybe they're doing it for the optics, we don't know, but it is what it is. They're on national TV, and screening has to take place as we think it should.
For some people, it was just come and present yourself before the National Assembly. For some, come and let us drill you. like Boho. But let's go straight this morning to the Punch newspaper. Senate screens 14, tackles nominees over age tax. Another cap headline here from the Punch newspaper. External reserves shared $167 million as Naira slums further. Tinubu decorates service chiefs, generals pledge loyalty. The banner headline this morning from the Punch newspaper. Subsidy pains. Labour insists on protests as Tinubu okays 500 billion naira palliative. 3,000 buses. And right after that banner headline from the Punch newspaper this morning, FG plans a wage increase, relief for MSMES. Others resumes talks with NLC today. NLC faults FG's reforms. Lagos slashes fares as protests rock Oyo, Oshun. And look at the sideline headline this morning from the Punch newspaper. Gallant Falcons pocket 1 billion naira. Reach World Cup last 16. For those of you shouting everywhere, these girls are making one.
My child, either male or female, will be a footballer. Because what is that? What is that?
Do you want her to play ball in Nigeria or play for Nigeria? Because she can travel out.
Where she's playing,
just come and nationalize at the end of the day. Just play for Nigeria.
That is all right.
Any boy is ball. Or any nation.
So far she's playing football. He's playing football.
By the way, Basketball's son has also, been accepted in Liverpool Football Academy. So everybody wants to cash out. Yeah, everybody wants to cash out right now. Well,
congratulations to him.
You don't know. Do you know how to play ball?
I said that's
if you cannot play ball.
As I don't know, my own child will know how to play.
Okay.
We will enroll. In fact, let me leave it at that.
Okay. Next set of headlines here. Fuel price hike. Drivers threaten to dump boat Uber. Okay, next set of headlines here. Residents groan as medical workers desert collapsed Ogun Health Center. And we have, okay, because we have front page picture of Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun Eleleyi of Eleyi. Having the picture there. But let's look at another headline here. Abductors collected 350,000 naira to release me, says Ondo kidnapped victim. And the last headline from the Punch newspaper this morning: Niger junta arrests top politicians. Germany withdraws aid. You want to get more? Get the copy of the Punch newspaper this morning.
All right, away from the Punch, let's now move over to the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Oil workers protest locks secretariat. Riders to that demands palliative, payment of salary deductions, leave bonuses, come to round table, only 2 months salary deductions owed, government speaking there. Oshun CSO stage protests over non-provision of palliatives. More stories from the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Senate screens Wike Edu. Tunji Ojo, 11 orders, sustains bow and go practice. Battle rages in states yet to get ministerial nomination. You would recall that only 28 out of the 36 states and federal capital territory have gotten nomination for ministerial positions. And now to the biggest story on the Nigerian Tribune, national broadcast. Salary review coming, 125 billion naira to energize MSMES. Tinubu speaking there. He mentioned yesterday that there will be a review on the minimum wage. Riders to that approves buses for tertiary institutions, removes restriction on students' loan. Sanwo-Olu okays 50% fare reduction in BRT ride, water transportation. So I saw a very funny tweet this morning of a guy who said he was going to print this headline and take to the parks and bus stations. And someone said Agboro will tell you see whether na Sanwo-Olu they buy on petrol.
I've been
So I don't know. I don't know the liaison.
This is it.
Agreements.
No, that should be for BRT, not the.
No, they accept the yellow buses as well. Not just
yellow
BRT.
buses.
Yeah.
50% slash for yellow buses.
BRT, yellow buses
I guess the NURTW or is it Park Management System? No, I guess they should be working on that. This government, but I don't know about that. But I guess that should be for BRT, because I mean, where do you expect the yellow bus drivers?
But they're paying taxes too.
They are paying taxes, right? So what are they gaining from the state government? So if I'm buying fuel for 716 naira and you expect me to take the transport, to put my transport fare 50% below, is government going to give me more fuel?
I'm just wondering how Governor Sanwo-Olu how he intends to achieve this. Maybe he's made provisions for fuel for these guys, or there's going to be some sort of palliative for them. We don't know how that would work out.
But before you take any decision, you should have given us how this will work. You understand? When you're talking about a particular plan, how it will work, that's the thing. I was listening to Mr. President yesterday when he said 5,000 buses to be distributed and the likes, and I said how many people will want to stay to take these buses? One, how will these buses get fuel? Two, what of the people who are making their livelihood is on transport and they have their commercial buses? So what if people don't patronize them? Does the federal government care about that? I was expecting to have an update concerning the fuel. Yes, subsidy has been removed, but at what amount or at what price will these people be buying fuel? Will Nigerians be buying fuel?
I don't think the prices will change when we don't have a
at 700
refinery. No, how would it change? You don't have a competitive market. There are no functional refineries in Nigeria. So how do you expect the price to change? There's nothing that would touch that price. The only thing that would change is when our refineries start working.
That's okay. No, I accept that.
Let's take more stories. Adamo Luton police arraigns 11. Police arraigns 110. PEPC Tinubu Atiku will be to adopt final written addresses today. Nigeria records 839 cases, 83 diphtheria deaths in 8 states. And the last headline this morning on the Nigerian Tribune, mixed reactions trail Tinubu's address. We're going to be talking about that this morning.
All right, now going straight to the Nation newspaper this morning. Hey, remember, we're live on Solutions 939 FM. In case you're just tuning in, this is Solutions 939 FM. Don't get it twisted, right? And we're also live on Facebook. For those of you who don't have a radio set, you can watch us live on Facebook, Solutions 939 FM. Just search for that station on Facebook. On YouTube, if you don't have a Facebook platform, you can also search for us on YouTube, Solutions 939 FM. Remember, you can also listen to us live on Radio Garden, type Solutions 939 FM. Yes, we're live. And you can download our app on Google Play Store to listen to our shows, having our app. Okay, going straight to the Nation newspaper this morning and looking at the headlines we have here. Starting from the CAP headline, it is time to deliver. President tells service chiefs. Labour insists on protest despite ongoing talks with government. Lagos lashes bus fares by 50%. Poor families to get food packs. The drama of ministerial screening day 1. If you want to read more, get a copy of the Nation newspaper. Red headline from the Nation this morning. President travels to Benin Republic. Labour leaders chase workers out of Oyo Secretariat. And live updates we are getting this morning from the Secretariat Agodi is that the Secretariat gate is locked. The protesters are regrouping. That is the updates we are getting from Agodi gate this morning, the Secretariat. Subsidy pain. Tinubu rolls out relief package. That's the banner headline. And right after that headline, President outlines measures to lift economy. Ogbe, others hail presidential plan. If you want to look at the highlights of Mr. President, looking at the breakdown of his speech yesterday, get a copy of the Nation newspaper, talking about the 75 billion naira to fund 75 enterprises with 1 billion credit at 9% interest. Well, I can't finish reading that, but get a copy of the Nation newspaper. And there's a quote from Mr. President on the front page of the Nation. It says, the period may be hard, or this period may be hard on us, and there is no doubt about it that it is tough on us. But I urge you all to look beyond the present temporary plans, the pains, and aim at the larger picture. All of our good and helpful plans are in works. I know that they will work. End of quote from Mr. President Bola Tinubu. Talking about health, diphtheria has killed 83 infected. Killed 83, infected 836. I take that headline again. Diphtheria has killed 83, infected 836. CBN exempts MFBS others from cash limit policy. Well, get a copy of the Nation newspaper this morning for more. Let's go straight to the burning issue this morning. Well, unfortunately, we may not be able to give you President Bola Tinubu's speech, but I mean, we've been able to give you some highlights from that. But yesterday, there was a meeting between organized labor and representatives of the federal government yesterday. Well, Nuhu Ribadu, Femi Gbajabiamila, they spoke after that meeting, talking about the plans for after subsidy removal. While Joe Ajaro also made it clear that there will still be protests tomorrow.
We have huge challenges. We want to appeal to Nigerians, please give us a chance. Give us an opportunity. We are working. You have a working president, and he's saying give him chance. We intend to be honest with what we are doing. We intend to be transparent, and we are going to be accountable. We will do what is right and what is necessary to correct the wrongs that people are facing. Please, Nigerians, give us a chance. We are working. And look at what happened in Adamawa yesterday. We had a situation where grains were kept to be distributed across the country. Hoodlums just went in, destroyed it. Grains that ought to have gone all over the country. This is the situation. And we are talking about any little thing, a spark will create serious, uncontrollable situations. That's why we are appealing. Please, calm down. give this government chance. That's why we now appeal to labor leaders that I think this is not the moment to really do anything other than hopefully, give the new leadership chance, encourage them to do what is right, stand by them. We are facing our problems internally and externally.
If I may just add to what you just said, what you just asked, why didn't the government roll out the palliatives before? Don't forget that in the first instance, the last government did not even budget for palliatives. And after the president got sworn in a matter of 3 weeks, by a fluctuation of time, there would have been no subsidy anyway. And so he seized the moment, and that's exactly what a leader does. He seized the moment.
Okay, Femi Gbajabiamila Mila, Nuri Badu there. But now let's listen to George Gyro, who made it clear that despite the statement of the speech of Mr. President, there will still be protest.
Our peaceful rally will go on as scheduled. Even if we didn't have this problem and we decide to hold a rally, we'll still hold our rallies. So this rally has been fixed for 2nd, and we'll go ahead to hold our rally. By the time you have a single market and then you are not having anything that has comparative advantage, you are even energy is import driven, and then how are you going to control it? How are you going to control somebody that exchange dollar at the extent of maybe 900? Are you going to tell him to sell at below the price?
George Gyro, NSC president, speaking there yesterday after the meeting between NLC and the representatives of the federal government. Well, Comrade Ayodeji Adeshope is with us virtually this morning. Happy New Month. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, yeah. Happy New Month to you, Comrade Dapo and Vic Riches. Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. It's great to have you join us.
My pleasure always.
Okay, so let us first make sense of the statement, or we'll say the presidential broadcast yesterday with the breakdown. Were you impressed with the speech of Mr. President? With, we were expecting the palliative to start today, August, most especially with the meeting of the NLC, federal government, back and forth. But looking at the breakdown, were you impressed with the statement?
You see, if you have known our president, you know that the president is a dreamer. The dreamers have their visions and all of that. The language of the speech, he said he was not going to us with economic jargons and all of that. And he spelled out, policies targeting SMEs. Believe you me, SMEs are critical. In fact, statistics available show that SMEs drive our economy. SMEs mean small and medium-scale enterprises. They constitute nothing. In fact, more than 90% of Nigeria's economy. Now, he's rolled out several plans. Billions here, 50 billion there, several billions there, targeting them. Great idea on paper. I do hope that will translate. That will translate into stimulating the economy. I say that because, one, it is for it to get to the target SMEs, you understand? And again, for those target SMEs who are recipients, for a high percentage of them, because we know all of them are not going to use whatever they get for that purpose. So we'll get the intervention and do something else with it. But I do hope a substantial part of them who will get it, will use it for the purposes meant to stimulate the economy. And I do hope that the processes will not, I put emphasis on that, will not be hijacked one way or the other, either by the politicians or the operators. So, all of that, good on paper, that is not going to be a now thing. It's not going to happen in the next 30 days. It may start happening in another 60 days or thereabout, Now, what people are talking about now, there are three phases: the immediate, the medium term, and the long term. What did we hear about the immediate? The hunger on the streets, the pain, excruciating pain people are, going through, living on a daily basis. We hear about the release of 200,000 tons of grains, and we didn't hear much more than that. We also had the president talk about the wage increase for, okay, when is that coming? When will that come? Joe Ajero said they had two subcommittees, palliative subcommittee and the wage review committee. They are not forthcoming with a report. They had a mandate soon after the president came into office for them to report back. We're not hearing about that. We are hearing about, organized private sector who have responded because they are businesses. They have responded, especially to the medium and low income earners in the organizations. They know that if you don't pay those guys, living wages, it's going to affect their profitability. They have responded promptly. They are businesses. Government is still, setting up committees, setting up subcommittees, and setting up all sorts of committees. So that is one of the things that will impact immediately the market. Look, when the market, the traders, the men and women in the market, when there's so much grumbling coming from them, there's stability. When grumbling starts emanating from the market and the streets, then there's trouble on their hands. NLC says they're still going ahead with the protest. Why not? I mean, let's see how effective that will be. Even NLC has the credibility on the street. I had a conversation yesterday. I was walking through the street, and somebody said, we are going to be protesting tomorrow. And somebody, the younger shop owner said, you better be careful. It be my pioneer. So these people are, these people are not even ready to sacrifice. You understand? Because if people did not sacrifice even their lives in South Africa would not be free today. We want to have our cake and still eat it. It's going to be sacrifice all the way. So, and the president, in a dramatic way, ended his speech. Let me get back to work and look. Let's get results. Beautiful plans on paper. I do hope the implementation, but the short term, the pain on the street is what they have to deal with.
Okay.
And I do hope,
You made something clear here that it is more of the implementation and not really what you're seeing on papers and what Mr. President said. However, you also made it clear here that Nigerians want to eat their cake and have it at the same time. But let's also look at it. Let's look at it from this angle. How long can we, stay to say we want to sacrifice? None of the senators. Did you see the screening yesterday? How many senators did you see at the screening yesterday? And look at the numbers of senators that were, that had their inauguration a few weeks back. That is one. Two, talking about the labor, there was a committee set up to also do salary review. I mean, take home for Nigerian workers. Why is it so difficult, to have a final package to be unveiled for Nigerians to see? Why is it taking a longer time? And Mr. President just came out July 31st, ahead of August, where we should be expecting release new minimum wage for Nigerian workers. Why?
Yeah, I remember it was even about the that the minimum wage moved to 18,000, and from 18,000 to 30,000, not even 100%. Believe you me, I've been telling people that this government cannot move. People are saying, even divided 200,000. I said, look, the parents cannot do more than 50,000. I can put a bet on that. They're not going to be able to do more than 50,000. They cannot even double it. They are not, because of the implications. So, because they have to keep wages, because the consequences of it. Yes, the federal government has liquidity now. They have money, because the foreign exchange window, what used to be 430 naira from our earnings, is now about 750, 800 naira. And it's even going to get better for the federal government as we go into winter and all of that. They have money to back it up. But it's not about just money, throwing money at this thing. But I expect that believe me, by September, end of September, they will implement. They should be able to implement the new wages, and all of that by end of September. I don't see them doing it before the end of September. That is the reality, and that is just the reality. The way government and bureaucracy works, they cannot do it before the end of September. The implementation will not be October or thereabouts. It cannot be earlier than that.
Okay.
That is the way bureaucracy works.
Permutations, fair enough. Still taking and talking about some of the highlights from what the president said yesterday. Over 47, paragraphs. Interesting and quite commendable. And you did mention some things that we did not see or we didn't hear from the president, and that's what I'll be raising this morning, particularly as it concerns our refinery. Now, one of the major ways to tackle, if not the only way to tackle this case of subsidy and the sufferings that Nigerians are currently faced with, is having a functional refinery. And out of these paragraphs from the president's address yesterday, there was nothing mentioned in that regard. He also did talk about tackling corruption, and he did mention that, subsidy has been used to enrich some of the elites. I went on Twitter and I saw a lot of Nigerians reacting to that. That if they're mentioning some people, it means these people have been identified, but yet we don't know them, neither are they facing any level of persecution by the government. What are your thoughts in this address not even capturing the very essence of the sufferings that we're faced with, a functional refinery?
Thank you very much for that question. Now, the very first thing is that you say subsidy is a scam. It is corruption, really. And then the next thing you do is, because there is corruption somewhere, rather than tackling the issue of corruption, you transfer the burden onto the people. And the people who are causing the trouble, corruption, the scam, we're not hearing anything about government doing anything about that. The people are not bearing the burden of the failure of governance, because that is failure of governance in itself. You identify something as corruption, and then rather than deal with the corruption, you transfer the burden onto the people, and they say they must sacrifice. The issue of local refineries, is a key component of the cost of petroleum products, not just PMS. Because the issue of freight, when you take the issue of freight out of it, believe you me, we have considerably reduced price of petroleum products. And the funny thing, I was asking somebody yesterday, I said the continued importation of products, when we purportedly have a Dangote refinery, and when we have Port Harcourt 1, I've been told by those who should know that Port Harcourt 1 is virtually ready. It should be able to produce refined products. In fact, they're already doing a test run that it should be operational by August. I'm afraid that those who are importing, they will have placed some orders. And believe you me, this might continue because it's going to be profitable to them. Why when you know that some refineries have to come on stream very, very shortly, why do you continue to give them license, why do you allow people to import PMS? That means if they import and the Port Harcourt refine here and put it in the market, and then go to put their own in the market, those who are importing cannot compete. Another cabal is emerging in that place. It has to be stopped before it becomes another problem. And then our local refineries, including Dangote, will no longer be able to they will stop them from putting their products in the market. Nobody is talking about our local refineries. I know the issue of NNPC is a very delicate one. It is a company, but I know I've had people say, fire Mele Kyari. I say, no, you don't have to fire Mele Kyari. Just take NNPC Limited, just put it on the stock market. Those who want to buy will do due diligence. And the due diligence will reveal what has happened to the NNPC in the past years. And of course, those who want to buy will dig out, the holes and the cookbooks and do the needful regarding that. NNPC will be dealt with according to the rules of transaction in the public space. But the issue of continuous importing of PMS is not. Look, when winter comes, the demand for crude oil will increase, and it might drive it to $100 per barrel. If it is driven to $100 per barrel by December, January, the Leviome will be paying close to 1,000 naira for PMS. I can tell you that for sure.
Okay. So now let's look at maybe a lot of people did not get enough from Mr. President, or maybe that speech was hurriedly made. But state governors have been, making different announcements, promises on palliatives. But remember what happened in Adamawa State a few days ago, where citizens looted warehouse, not to loot money, but they looted the warehouse just to get food. Now, myself, Victory, are discussing about Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's speech yesterday, announcing that BRT fares will be slashed by 50% beginning from, that should be today or tomorrow, and that of commercial buses will have to reduce their fares by 25%. So while we were discussing, I said, okay, it was Victory now, reading a tweet, reaction from Nigerians that, okay, is it the state governor that will, give commercial bus drivers fuel, or give them another palliative to make them have enough fuel in their buses to slash their transport fare by 25% if, okay, the BRT, which is under state government, is being slashed by 50% for T-fare? How long can this go?
Well, kudos to the Lagos State government, for the governor specifically, for the sensitivity. In Lagos, you have to be very, very sensitive, because one spark can result in a conflagration. And nobody's going to forget quickly the NSAS conflagration and probably the trillion naira, destruction that took place in Lagos. Lagos is still grappling with that. And therefore, the government is very, very sensitive. Lagos is an economic nerve center, and well over 20 million people live in Lagos alone. Regarding the yellow buses, the private buses, the intention is for government to make available, intervention, credit intervention, for them to access, some new buses at rates that will be very, very friendly. So that friendly rate will enable them to reduce their own, fare too. Not the ones on the road. No, not the ones on the road. The immediate one is for BRT buses to cut fares, but the medium term is for the state government to make access to credit available for the transport owners to access credit at reasonable prices, at reasonable interest rates. The president talks about 9%, maximum 9%, maximum 9%. And of course, interest rates in the bank is well over 30% now, for her. So when you compare 9 to 30%, that is, very, very fair. So it is about access to credit at reasonable interest rate, which will enable them not to charge the commercial rate. How do you enforce that? Well, maybe those vehicles that will come through that channel will be branded in a particular way for them to be able to cross-check. There's a lot going on in the transport sector in Lagos through government indirect intervention. But the one that a lot is not going on is the waterways. Lagos is surrounded by water, and believe you me, the roads should not be that congested.
Comrade,
we're not seeing the
Adishokwe, must Nigerians live on credit loan? Must everything be credit loan?
Go around the entire world. Your credit rating. Go to UK, go to Europe, anywhere else, Europe, go to the United States. One thing the people guard jealously is their credit rating. Because, look, you are never going to have a 5 million. You want to buy a car. You want to buy a car, you have to look for 5 million naira. You have to look for 4 million naira. When are you going to get it? But if you have access, if you are working honestly and you're not doing anything crooked, you earn 250,000 naira per month. When are you going to raise 5 million naira to buy a car? But you have access to credit at reason. Then you pay 50,000 naira per month. You understand? Maybe you pay that for 36 months. You want to buy anything, you have access to credit. Look, access to credit. That is why people are doing what they ought not to do in this country. Access to credit. If not for some states now, in other states, I know that people have access to credit if you work in any government institution because they know there is stability. The government is paying salaries regularly. That is why those financial institutions are giving them access to credit. You understand? At the touch of a button, you get 50% of your monthly salary, and then I've seen people, even seen banks, financial institutions, chasing government workers and to come and take loans. It's because of stability. You understand? Okay. Well, even if you have, if you get 500,000 naira a month, when are you going to raise 5 million to buy a car? And then you do that thing. Access to credit. And access to credit can only be available when there is stability. You understand? Stability is key. I think this president has been talking about that, access to credit. And people should not think those credit access that they get, it is a national cake. It is not national cake.
Well, let's hope that that's not the case. That's been the conversation with the student loan as well. As we wrap up this morning, I'm just going to draw your attention to a tweet that I also saw because, these are reactions from Nigerians saying that so far this government has been practicing trial and error. Do you think that's what is happening with all the implementation and executions we've seen thus far? Is that what is happening in this government?
You see, on the issue of the student loan, that act in itself, when it was a bill sponsored by Gbajabiamila, let me tell you, it was clear, if you followed the processes, that it was horridly put together to serve as a tool for which it is being deployed now. Not a bad idea, you understand? I am not one of those who think at this stage that we have tried it. You see, it is the military government that landed us where we are today, nationalizing everything, power central, education, UBE, and all of that. Everybody should have they took over all the universities, ABU, IFE, and all of that. Everybody should have done what they wanted. We are a federation. If they want free education in the north, let them do it. So, relaxing the stranglehold. There's a National Commission for Primary Education. What is the meaning of that? All of this is totally unnecessary. So, try and error. If it's looking like trial and error, they say they are going to remove all the encumbrances there. I asked myself, is it going to be all commerce affair now? No conditions anymore, you understand? Does it mean no conditions? It cannot be so. There will still be conditions. I was asking myself when I was coming home yesterday, I said, look, 500,000 naira per annum as income of both the parents. That means if 30,000, 12,336, 36, that means they're putting it even below minimum wage. You understand? Because if you have the 12,3, that is at 360, that's 720. That means the two parents must earn below minimum wage before they can qualify, before the children can qualify for the loan. You understand?
Right.
I mean, they didn't even put it at minimum wage. They put it below minimum wage. So, all these encumbrances, let us see how they're going to relax it. People are going to access it. And let us hope that they are prepared. They have not even set up, the instruments. The instruments prescribed have not even been set up.
Comrade, we must say thank you because we have some commercials to play right now. But we appreciate your contributions and analysis to the stories that made the papers this morning.
My pleasure, always, comrade. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, well, let's go on a break, and when we return, we get your calls and your reaction, same as your messages this morning. Remember, you can join us live on Facebook, Solutions 939 FM. Send us a tweet at Solutions 939 FM. Do not move a muscle.
John!
What's up?
Check your phone. I just send you Momo referral.
My mama don't run that one for me since now. Me say for the find who I go refer, make a quick hammer my million.
Hey! You too fit be one of the 12 millionaires for the Momo Refer and Win promo. To win, dial star 671 hash to sharply open your Momo account and select option 6 to refer family and friends them. After that, make sure say them open Momo account and use and recharge airtime or data at least 100 naira. Chicken, the more people where you refer, the more you go win. If you not see out of 12 million naira every week, you fit to chop out of 25 million naira.
Momo Refer and Win promo. The more you refer, the more you win. Promo go run from June 15 till August 9, 2023. Terms and conditions they shall.
Mommy!
Yes, daughter?
Why is it that almost everyone in my school comes with small candies and biscuits? I just want to know.
Yes, darling. It's because Sumal food is amazing and simply the best.
Yes, mommy. Even the Sumal wafers and the chewing gum that you've always given to us are extremely delicious and captivating.
Hello, everyone. Here's your bread. Of course, it's yellow bread.
Wow! Thanks, my dear. We always enjoy Jolly bread. For your biscuits, wafers, candies, chewing gum, and bread.
Sumal Foods, love at first bite.
Sumal Foods, love at first bite.
Alright, you're still listening to the Remedy Dial Solutions 93.9. Of course, this is from the Dailies. We just took a view and different perspectives to the stories that made the rounds this morning from the several Nigerian national newspapers. And right now, we would love to hear your thoughts. We addressed particularly the presidential speech of yesterday and highlighted some of the things he mentioned as policies and implementation, which is in a way to cushion the effect of the removal of fuel subsidy and what it has cost Nigerians. And right now, we would love to hear your reactions as a Nigerian. How do you feel about the presidential speech? Do call us up with the numbers 0909 888 9939 or 0912 222 2939. We're also taking messages via WhatsApp or regular text to 0904 422 2939. On Facebook, you can also leave a message to Solutions 939 FM on the live stream comment session. You can also tweet at us at Solutions 939. But for calls, do call 0909 888 9939 or 0912 222 2939. Right now, we'll be taking some messages as well as tweets. So I begin with this message, and this one is from Tyre, and he says, one thing I was expecting from the presidential speech was the revamping of our modular refineries or establishing and creating new refineries, and that we never saw. Also, cutting the cost of governance. How long shall we continue like this? Is it impossible to state that? They want to live in luxury and have us live in penury. It's a sad reality we live in Nigeria. All right, thank you so much for that message.
Okay, Omadia Adekunle on Facebook says the speech of Mr. President disappointed me so much because they failed to tell us the status of our refineries, and these hardships can never be relieved for everyone until we have functionary refineries in Nigeria. All this palliative are the means of siphoning the public fund. What a repetitive, what a repetitive analog government. All
right, a message here from Shuaib says, the president's speech for me was uninspiring, a waste of time. I was expecting more as it concerns the refinery and immediate measures to cushion the effect of the removal of subsidy. Talk is cheap. What we want to see is implementation. Another message here from Sule says, he mentioned about people who have enriched their pockets with the fuel subsidy scam. However, their names were omitted. When would we start seeing government mentioning names of those involved in corrupt practices? That is a one jacket way to dealing with corruption.
Okay, the O Abu Agada on the Twitter says, Dear President Bola, this is no time for speech. Nigerians are suffering and need a quick fix to the current economic challenges. If you can't do this job, I enjoin you to resign. Thank you. Okay, and there is also a tweet from @Kato Takar. Says, well, hopefully you create an economy that benefits everyone, not just a selected few. Some of the messages we have on X, formerly Twitter.
Okay. Otumba says, powerful speech from Mr. President. The price of fuel is now 300 and dollar is now 400. Congratulations on a wonderful speech.
Okay, so there is a tweet here from OBHWH says, Baba, the person that wrote this speech for you just won't put you for trouble. He doesn't know that you openly opposed removal of fuel subsidy back in 2012 during Goodluck Ebele Jonathan's administration. You even supported demonstrations against the removal. See how your speech writer can't make you lie like Mr. Lai Mohammed.
Just imply that the president did not write his speech. Let's pretend as though that happens in any strata of the government that we have.
Chika Ofomata says, script so badly written. We can do better. By the way, the script gives me the impression that as long as the current president is in power, importation of fuel continues. Sad. Okay.
All right. Dakpo says, I'm very impressed.
Which Dakpo? Please read the
speech.
Twitter handle. Which Dakpo?
Dakpo Ayodiji says, I'm very impressed by the speech of President Bola Tinubu. He touched on several solutions which could change things for a better in a few months. He touched on several things on my personal list. He demonstrated empathy, compassion, and pleaded with citizens. I hope bureaucrats and officials will allow the palliative gets directly to the people who needs them the most. We have saved over ₦1 trillion. Subsidy is gone forever.
I mean, yes, the script has the good and the bad side. I mean, maybe so for some of us, because I told Laffy here, if you could just play back what I told Laffy, like a lot of people are expecting more from the speech to be made by Mr. President, at the end of the day. But hey, let's also check a message here that says, at Shiba Army, at King Monarch says, you will succeed by the grace of God.
Alhaji Aisha says, I'm impressed, but we always seem to leave out electricity, which is the primary problem of why the lower class needs fuel and gasoline, and why big corporations are incurring huge overhead costs. I kind of agree with that. Tunde Bisodun says, great speech, but implementations are always the bane of our leaders. I pray that these policies are well implemented as soon as possible for the overall benefits of the citizens. This is a tweet from Oluyami. He says, no changes yet, but this speech alone renewed my hope. This is how a father should admonish his children in trying times. BAT will succeed. All right. Ngozi says, if there's no plan to reduce petrol price, then he's making no sense. How long do we continue buying fuel at 600 plus? No single plan to build our refinery. No plan after 6 months of palliative. What is next for the poor? A man who avoided debates promised nothing to Nigerians. It is sad.
All right, check the time right now. This is 9:29. We wrap up AM update this morning. But hey, before wrapping up, let's tell you what the weatherman is saying this morning. Let us expect showers in the city of Ibadan starting by 11 o'clock. We started experiencing that around 5:36 a.m. today. And expecting showers by 11, 12, 1 p.m. as it will return to a cloudy moment in the city of Ibadan from 2 to 5 p.m. and by 6 p.m. we should be expecting showers again. Well, I already have my umbrella and my rubber shoe. I don't know of Victory Richard. Well, my name is Oladapo Kunubi. Well, catch us again tomorrow morning, starting 8 o'clock with Kickoff Sports Show.
All right, my name is Victor Richard. It's a new month, so I would urge you to be positive and hopeful and believe that everything will be all right. Have yourself a wonderful Tuesday.
Era ile wo yin baba loke.